Face of Daystar TV, Joni Lamb has been covertly removing videos from the network's backlog. Why? In those episodes, what is she trying to hide? These shows have since vanished, but Josh Brown, better known as Pete, was a co-host on them. He is accused of engaging in an essay cover-up. Is it possible that this is related? On the other hand, could it be due to the fact that show guest Doug Weiss lied regarding his marriage? Rather than being a simple matter of correcting past mistakes, this appears to be an effort to conceal inconsistencies, partial truths, and outright lies. We need to investigate Daystar TV to find out the truth. On November 30, 2021, Marcus Lamb, the man behind Daystar TV, passed away. In the 7th day of December, Doug Weiss attended his funeral. This isn't exactly out of the ordinary, is it? Things, however, begin to take an intriguing turn now. Doug Weiss filed for a divorce the following month on January 27, 2022. Most people would have looked the other way, but Doug continued behaving as if nothing had transpired following that. He gave interviews in which he gushed over his wife as if he hadn't recently filed to dissolve their marriage. Doug Weiss then appeared on Daystar TV with Josh Brown and Joni Lamb on April 4, 2022. The episode was uploaded to Daystar's website the following day on April 5. Unfortunately, it has been deleted. Why? In that episode, what is Joni Lamb trying to hide from the audience? The fact that Doug Weiss had previously uploaded the identical video to his own YouTube channel is something that Joni Lamb and her crew might have omitted. Take note of how YouTube only provides a generalized date range, such as 2 years ago, to indicate a video's age. But it is possible to determine the precise time and date of a video's upload. The exact time and date of a YouTube video's upload, among other details, are available with YT Large. Take a look at how it functions. After obtaining Doug Weiss's video link, we copy and paste it into the tool before inspecting the data. It's about 6:25 p.m. on April 15, 2022. On days after Daystar TV aired the episode, Weiss uploaded his copy. Even though Joni's team may have removed the video from their files, it is still available online. Now is our chance to see what they'd rather we don't. How is the Daystar TV show doing these days? Doug Weiss was a part of it, and the title was How to Parent a Prodigal Child. He was in attendance to promote Prodigal Parent Process, his book. Being the greatest role models and educators for one's children is the central theme of the book, but Doug Weiss's divorce was about to be finalized in just a few weeks. Throughout the show, though, he continued to speak about his family as if nothing had transpired. Although his marriage was in disarray behind the scenes, he presented himself to the public as a family man, an expert on child raising, and a parent advisor. Yes, my daughter is my daughter, and I love her very much. Your son's heart shouldn't be the same as yours. Sure, it's completely different. In your ideal world, your son would mature into a man. Very well. Alter your love for him accordingly. Sure, and so do fathers. My wife is one of 4 girls in her family, which is an interesting fact. Both their parents and each other's love is frequently brought up in their conversation. Then there's the question of who's the most senior, junior, attractive, intelligent. Once you find out that Joni Lamb was always telling the truth, the story takes an intriguing turn. Anyone keeping up with the case knows that Joni was aware of the impending divorce of Doug and Lisa Weiss. Even a counselor she knew was mentioned by her at one point. Allowing him to go on TV while faking his identity served no purpose. Just because she wanted to, didn't stop her from visiting a Poe house. Her hope must have been that I would suddenly realize something, but I had already done that. There had been 4. That was it for me. There was Joni Lamb there as well. Actually, I was already past it by the time I became Piet in August. That's about 1.5 years before the OB. It's ironic that most of the viewers who emailed Doug Weiss with questions about his book during his Daystar TV appearance to promote it were divorcing. A woman once told Marianne, "I'm not close to my son because I got divorced." The correspondence is appreciated. So many families are in shambles these days. Where does one find the time to teach their children biblical values when there is so much distraction at home? One of the challenges is the abundance of misinformation surrounding divorce. Regarding that, we also had another inquiry. During a divorce, rumors and misinformation circulate, and you'll need to work on repairing damaged relationships. You know, I'm going through a divorce right now. Would have been a wonderful, honest statement for Doug to make at this point. This is my takeaway, and it should help those who are in a similar situation. Instead, he maintained his facade. Instead of being forthright, Doug insisted on acting as though he was happily married to the most amazing woman imaginable. While offering counsel, he seemed unconcerned about his own marriage. "I lied to the public about being divorced," he explained when asked why. "Then why didn't you tell people for a year, like your customers? Then why didn't you tell them?" "Well, I was really strong, like before he went to New York, because it would be harmful for everyone in the church if Doug and his ex-wife were to be seen together in public. He should inform his employees that they are no longer together." However, that isn't all, folks. For 3 consecutive weeks, you have delayed doing it. Well, that's not all. Did the conference last for a certain amount of time? At least one person paid to attend. As if you were married, people are paying for 9 or 12 months. No, it was 6 months. 6 or 7 months. Okay, then I told you why. My daughter's heart is broken, and she's telling me, "Dad, I need some time." Then why? Because on a daily basis, my daughter responds to people's pain through Facebook, emails, and my office. And she often says things like, "I can't handle it if I have to listen to you deal with your pain and my pain while I'm in pain. Is there any way you could put it off?" "Sure," he said, "absolutely, just like any father would to his daughter." You kept it a secret because of that. The true explanation is that every one of Doug Weiss's Daystar TV shows from 2022 except one has vanished without a trace. The first episode of the show Indestructible premiered on December 12, 2022. On December 31, 2022, a little over 2 weeks later, Doug proposed to Joni Lamb. The action is about to heat up now. Doug withheld the news of his divorce from Lisa during that period. In all honesty, he waited until February 2023 to announce it publicly. Doug shared this on Facebook despite the fact that the divorce had already occurred over a year ago. The opinions of DRS Doug and Lisa Weiss are congruent, therefore we felt it was necessary to inform you that, as of spring of 2022, we are no longer married. To show our mutual respect for one another and our children, we have agreed to keep the specifics of our divorce a secret. Despite our separation, we remain a loving family and will keep helping others in our community overcome their pain. Just give our family some space and time to recover. Thanks. Following its sharing, Doug promptly removed that Facebook post. Doug made his major divorce announcement in March of the same year, 2023. In the same month, Joni Lamb also used Instagram to make a major announcement. She introduced Doug Weiss as a godly man and announced their engagement to TBL Talk listeners. Here is her writing. "Join me tonight at 8:30 p.m. ET for Table Talk, where I have something important to share with you. Yes, I believe that God used Pastor Jimmy Evans to introduce me to a wonderful man. Join me and others who have been through this strange journey by listening to the story on Table Talk." In 2023, just before Joni Lamb announced her engagement to Doug, one of Doug Weiss's clients left a comment. Now let's hear from them. Here is what they stated. "I'm one of those customers who wants their money back. Last year in May, after what seemed like a recent divorce in April, we did an intensive with him. In preparation for his marriage ministry of 30 years, he had been attending intensives under the pretense of being married. Given that some of us found out about his engagement to Joni and divorce from Daystar simultaneously, it's understandable that many of us feel deceived, tricked, and betrayed. My heart-to-heart counselor told me this, but I can't say anything about it just yet. We have been informed that the release date of Daystar is continuously being delayed. March 13th was the last time I had any news. A lot of people's frustration and bewilderment with Doug Weiss's behavior in the last year can be summed up in this comment. Since learning of his engagement to Joni Lamb and divorce, the people who hired him to assist them with their marriages feel deceived, tricked, and betrayed. The reason Daystar has been removing videos makes sense now. They want people to keep guessing. Doug and Joni were obviously trying to cover up their communication and romantic involvement prior to the finalization of Doug's divorce by doing these things. Additional details about this story are revealing that Doug Weiss and Joni Lamb are caught up in a much larger web of deceit and uncertainty. The truth becomes more difficult to deny with each new piece of information.